Ballad of Gay Tony is the last episodic content for Grand Theft Auto 4, and Rockstar decided to go out with a bang. The result is some of the most over-the-top missions and characters you've seen in GTA 4. You play as Luis Lopez, manager of the largest straight dance club in Liberty City. Gay Tony owns both this club and the largest gay club, Hercules. Some financial shit goes down, and you're off to find stolen diamonds to help Tony. Yep, these are the same stolen diamonds that came up in both GTA 4 and Lost in the Dam. Gay Tony's story runs in parallel with these two, and it's good to finally know what happens to those diamonds in the end.
Oh, we're just having a little creative meeting and things went a bit crazy and I somehow lost my pants.
The feel of this episode is different from Lost in the Dam or GTA 4. Whereas before, you played as a guy who was struggling on his way up from the lower dregs of society, Luis is already part of the upper echelon. Most of this episode takes place in the glitzier side of Algonquin, otherwise known as Manhattan, and you get a friggin' golden helicopter at one point. Golden helicopter. Well, this is a welcome change. Luis's story isn't particularly great. All the surrounding characters are very crazy and funny, but Luis is just kind of a guy killing people. One of the best new additions is how missions are handled. Every time you beat a mission, you're given a score, and then once you've beaten the game, you can actually use your phone to select any mission that you played before and replay it again to try to get a better score. This adds a bunch of replay to the mix, and you're probably going to want to replay these missions because they're a lot of fun. The over-the-top missions are generally pretty fun. There's everything from helicopter dogfights to shooting down helicopters on moving trains to blowing up crooked cops. That one doesn't involve helicopters at all. You have really powerful new weapons, like the sticky bomb and the shotgun with explosive rounds. Big explosions seem to be a general theme in the Ballad of Gay Tony. Unfortunately, there are a few really bad missions, and I have to say, some of those bad missions are some of the worst that are in the entire GTA 4 series. Now, one of the good things is that Rockstar did finally add a tank. Unfortunately, this isn't an M1 Abrams with a giant turret blowing up buildings. This is actually a small little APC with a little turret that can easily blow up cars, but doesn't pack a big punch. It's just not the kind of big, imposing tank that people might have been hoping for. Now, there's a lot of new stuff to do in Liberty City outside of those missions. There are two kinds of base jumping missions. One where you parachute off a building and try to land in a moving truck, and the other where you parachute out of a helicopter, fly through some rings, and land on a stationary target. Now, along with base jumping, you do manage a club, and in fact there are several new clubs in the game. I'm not talking about strip clubs, these are actually dance clubs. You got a dancing minigame with a choreographed dance, you can go into champagne battles, or you can just get drunk and just wander around like an idiot. You can also, if you want, try your hand at club management, though that really is just you walking back and forth around a club making sure everything's okay. Boring. All in all, there's a ton of extra content packed into the Ballad of Gay Tony. It's the kind of stuff that people really wanted when GTA 4 came around. This is more of the over-top, fun action stuff that we saw in San Andreas.
Leave me alone!
The Ballad of Gay Tony is a fun send-off to GTA 4. The writing is still sharp, even if the story is only so-so. There are a few bad apples among the great missions, but when you get down to it, this is just more GTA 4, and that's always a good thing, right? For the full written review, head on over to IGN.com.